My name is Gary Yates. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of the California Wellness Foundation. I'm also a member of the Board of Directors. The foundation is located in Woodland Hills, California, and its mission is to improve the health of the people of the state. I think the Voices for Philanthropy campaign is important because of a couple reasons. One, if you look over the last couple of decades, the mainstream media, when it has talked about organized philanthropy, especially around foundations, has often talked about issues of alleged abuse, misuse of funds, etc. There's been very little about the good works that philanthropy actually does in the country. And yet, if you just stop for a minute and you think, there are far more examples of the great work that philanthropy and small as well as large foundations are doing on a day-to-day basis in the country than these important issues of abuse of the funds. I believe that Voices of Philanthropy is an entity that can shed some light onto those good works. And that's an important story, and it's a story that needs to be heard. I do have a favorite example of philanthropy. It comes from the early years in our foundation. And it's different, I think, than what many people would think of as their favorite story of philanthropy, because it's not about some big sweeping initiative we did, and we did many of them. But it was about a small grant in a community in South Central Los Angeles. There was a newspaper article that they had gotten the money together for Little League uniforms. They had gotten the money together to put a field together, but they didn't have the finishing dollars that they needed. It also indicated they hadn't had Little League for 30 years in this community. What they needed was $15,000 to finish the field and provide stipends so that parents in the community who couldn't afford the $50 per child could do it. So we made that grant. Now that sounds like a very small thing. But if you stop for a second and you think about those of us who live in upper middle class communities, if we're told there's a new $50 fee for our Little League team, for our kids to play, we pull out our wallet, our checkbooks, our credit cards, we go ahead and pay that. But there are many communities where people can basically pay for their rent, for their food, and the clothes on the children's back, and maybe books for school, and that's about it. So to do something like that, to me, that's where philanthropy has its greatest, many times unsung impact. But for the first time in 30 years, the kids in that community had Little League to play.